Thanks to the sponsors of this episode, Forged Irish Stout, an unbelievably smooth, creamy stout by Conor McGregor, the UFC legend. Not here to take part, but here to take over. Forged Irish Stout is on a mission to become the biggest Irish stout. Conor McGregor has taken over the whiskey game. Now he's about to take over the stout game. Available in Asda from midsummer. Me and my guests will be enjoying a few cans in the next few episodes. If you fancy checking it out too, make sure you hit the description below and find out where you can get Forged Irish Stout. Today, I'm joined by yet another top goalkeeper that's just been promoted. I'm delighted to be joined by Leyton Orient goalkeeper, Lawrence Vigouroux. How you doing, mate?
We've been promoted about 3 games too early. They run the club really well, and the club's, for me, in the best place it's been in.
3 times in a row now, Leyton Orient player of the season.
As a keeper, you go from such a villain to you get the ecstasy of, saving a penalty. But I used to always play in goal in my state because we used to play Wembley. I've just come from a college scheme. You want me to come play for Tottenham? It went from that to, in August, I was playing in front of 12,000 against Barcelona. They actually pulled me after the game and said, we'll sign you if Tottenham don't. At the time, it was Lloris, Friedel, Gomez. So, for example, Gomez we used to call him the octopus. And Tim Shell was like, you ain't going up there. I love that club because it was the first club that actually gave me an opportunity and saw me as a man, not as a little boy. I'm not even a footballer when I walk in my house now. It's just I'm just a dad.
What a save from Mark Howard.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Yours Mine Away podcast with me, Mark Howard. Today I'm joined by yet another top goalkeeper that's just been promoted and named in League 2 Team of the Season again. 3rd time in a row, that is.
No, first.
Is it first?
It's
your player of the season 3 times in a row.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm delighted to be joined by Leyton Orient goalkeeper Lawrence Vigouroux. How you doing, mate?
No, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me as well.
Absolute smashing it again. Like I say, and you keep on picking up awards and that. Another promotion. It's your first promotion. You said
promotion.
This, mate. What's the feeling like?
Oh, no, it's amazing. I never thought I'd ever get one. Sometimes you get to a point in your career where you think, you're one of them keepers that you're decent, but you're never in a team that's ever challenging. So I've never been in the playoffs, 29 years old, never been in the playoffs, never been anywhere near always been mid-table. So then you start to think, don't you, maybe actually I'm just one of those keepers that's mid-table but get player of the season every year. So it's been a surprise to me that actually, I've been in a side that's been, right up there. So I'm buzzing.
Mate, I've only had 2, so I've been playing pro 19 years now, so I've only had 2. I've had no relegations, and I'm more proud that I've had no relegations than my 2 promotions. So, mate, to get promotions hard, so congratulations again, mate.
No, thank you. No, it's been brilliant. I think I'm now even now. I've got 1 promotion, 1 relegation. So
nice.
I think you sent me down, no, at Scunthorpe? I think you was there when we went down at Swindon?
No, I wasn't. Swindon?
Yeah, I was at Swindon.
I wasn't at Scunthorpe at the time. I was at Blackpool that year.
Oh, he was at Blackpool. You was at Scunthorpe the year before.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, so before I get started, I'd like to thank today's sponsors, Forged Irish Stout, for sponsoring this episode and joining in our promotion celebrations. Forged Irish Stout is an unbelievably smooth, creamy Irish stout by UFC legend Conor McGregor. It will be available nationwide from Asda later this summer, mate. Please drink responsibly, but cheers, congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you.
Man.
Nice.
Thoughts?
Yeah, it's all right.
I love coffee. Nice. So I think that's lovely, that lovely little drop that. Please drink responsibly. Everyone remember that. So before we get started, mate, I'm going to crack on with our Quickfire quiz, a little get to know you straight off the bat, right?
Yeah.
Easy one. Catch or parry?
Catch.
Well, you thought about that. You're the first goalie that thought about that then.
Catch.
You're a camera save guy, aren't you? Tea or coffee?
Tea. Coffee.
Yep. Play short or kick it long?
Short.
Nice. Favourite ever goalkeeper?
Edison.
Oh, yeah, nice. I killed my next question. Best keeper in the world right now?
Edison.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ketchup or mayo?
Ketchup.
Long sleeve shirts or short sleeve?
Well, this is the first year I've wore a short sleeve.
Yeah, that's a promotion, so that's...
Yeah, so I'm going to go short sleeve.
Yeah, it's easy that. Nice and easy that. Right, World Cup or Champions League?
World Cup.
Yeah, it has to be. It's just a history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, movie or box set? You said you're a bit of a YouTuber, actually.
Yeah, I prefer YouTube. Movie. I've been watching a lot of movies. I'm going to say movies.
Yeah, nice. Right, how tall are you? I've been asked a lot of questions by a lot of people. How tall are you?
6'3".
Nice.
6'3", 191 centimetres to be exact.
Yeah, I always add on a 0.5 there. I'm 189.5. I go, yeah, 6'3", not a problem. It's a goalie thing, that. Right, and then last one, save a penalty or score a goal?
Oh, save a pen, 100%.
Yeah, I'd love to score a goal.
Nah, my job's to save them, not score them.
Nah, that's what I want. A bit of glory. I want one time in my life. Right, so like I said, you've been crowned the champions of League Two, mate. Obviously, a bit of celebration so far. I want to know what you've been up to. I can tell you about mine. Mine's been wild.
Yeah, no, it's been brilliant. We got promoted a bit early, so we were saying to the boys in before the game, we played Stockport when we was lifting the trophy, and we were saying like we've been promoted about 3 games too early, because you just want to finish the season and then go and celebrate it. But we had good celebrations. They were cut short because when we got promoted, we still weren't the champions. And we'd been top of the season for majority of it. And the manager was like, yeah, have a good night tonight. But, we're back in on Thursday and we're going to try and try and win the league. Luckily, we won the league on the Saturday, and then we did have a good celebration. But then we had another game Tuesday. Yeah, that's horrible. So we still had 3 more games. So it was like, it was tough. But, now is a really good time to celebrate. We played Bradford the other day and it was a sellout. They were trying to get into the playoffs, and the atmosphere was fantastic, to be fair. You've played there loads of times. It's like massive. Massive club. And it was amazing to play there, and we drew 1-1, and it was good to end the season not with a loss, because obviously we lost to Stockport 3-0 at home the week before.
Makes it look a little bit sloppy when you won the league already.
You win the league, and then obviously you kind of want to get to see other players playing. Like the manager might want to see other players, but because of the teams that we were playing 3 teams that were fighting to either get automatic or to get in the playoffs. You have to trying to play your best team. So I didn't really get much time. So I'm going to definitely celebrate, over the weekend, this weekend. Have you
done an open top bus or anything like that yet?
No.
You're doing a town hall?
No. So after the Stockport game, on the Sunday, we had a day with the fans, which was so the fans were on the pitch and we were announced one by one with the trophy.
Nice,
so it was good. There was a lot of fans there. It was really good.
So you've got American owners as well. So they must have done it in that whole running out onto the pitch.
Yeah. No, you know what they're like. They're very passionate as well. And then it's quite funny because for someone that's not even English to actually have such a love for teams that are in the lower league is amazing, really. And they run the club really well, and the club's for me in the best place has been it. So we're only the people that play. So it's good that we're part of the club that they run in, because it's it's a really well run club.
It's a good time to be at the club as well. Right, where are you off to then for promotion? Where are you going?
Yeah, we're going to Marbella, so that'll be good, to be fair. I think everyone's going, so the manager, the staff, yeah. So it'll be good, can batter the physio about his stuff in the season. But he's a really good physio. But it's good that everyone's coming, because the club's it's not just the players, it's everyone else. So it's good that we get to spend it with them as well.
See, I've literally just landed yesterday from Vegas, right? So we had a wild 4 days in Vegas, but our staff went to Vigouroux in Portugal, and it would have been nice to at least do 1 day where we crossed over or did something together. But I'm not going to complain, mate. It was a good time, and I apologise for any husky voices that I've got. What are your plans now anyway for the rest of the off season? A bit of rest, relaxation.
Definitely. Yeah, so I'm getting married in June.
Congratulations!
So, thank you. Yeah, so I'm getting married in June. So just been stressing about that really throughout the whole season. My missus has been on to me, so
that's her job to do all the worrying.
Yeah. Well, she's the one that found the wedding planner and all that. So I just left it to her. I just said anything that needs to be paid, then I'll just I'll pay it. But it's more for her as well. I want her to have the best day. Obviously, I'm going to have a wonderful day, but if we had it in the town hall, I'd still be the same.
I'm exactly the same. It's all about the missus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes the life easier, mate. But like I said, you've been named in the EFL Team of the Season for League Two, mate. You must have been really honoured. Did you know about the award when you went to it?
Yeah. So we found out a few days before, which was good, to be fair, because I knew I was going to be in the running for it. But obviously you don't know if you've won or anything. So it was good to find out a couple of days before. What they didn't tell me is that I'd have to speak. And when you're in a room full of people that work in the all over Champ League 1, League 2, it's a bit nerve-wracking, especially for me. I don't really like speaking in front of a massive audience. So It was hard, but no, it was all right. I wish I had the heads up, but no, it was fine. It was good. The award's really nice as well, to be fair.
Suited and booted as well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, shout out Mark Darcy.
Yeah,
because,
I think he sorted a few lads.
yeah,
suits
he
out,
did.
hasn't
Yeah, he's a good they're good company. The suits are fantastic, and it was really good to actually wear one of their suits at an event, because I've never been to one before, so it's been good.
Like I said, you've 3 times in a row now, Leyton Orient Player of the Season. That just shows a level of consistency that you're performing at for the club and stuff. Have you got a season highlight? Have you got anything this year that sticks out and you was like, you know what, that was a game that everyone...
Yeah, I did, to be fair. I've had a few. We played Mansfield at home really, really early in the season. It was one of the hottest days of the year, I think. And I gave away a penalty after, I'm not even lying here, about 20 seconds. I give a penalty away. Literally took kick-off, played it to the left wing back. He curled it down the line, and the striker's gone. I thought I could get it, and I've caught him. It's the worst ones to give, especially when it's so far out of the goal. And I saved the penalty after a minute. Saved the penalty, and they had about 3 or 4 one-on-ones, and I saved them all, and then we won 1-0. So as a keeper, you go from such a villain to you get the ecstasy of saving a penalty and keeping a clean sheet, really. And that was the game for me where it was you know what, this could be something special. And that was about 3 or 4 games in. So no, that was probably one that sticks out. Another one as well was Grimsby away, drawing 2-2. They got a penalty with about 10 minutes to go, and I saved it, which was massive, because I think we had a little bit of a wobbly run. We won a couple after that, and then we had Grimsby, who were informed. They had the really good cup run, so they were in the middle of the cup run as well. And I saved the penalty, and then they went to Southampton on the Tuesday, and I think they scored 2 penalties, but it was a different player. So I think I might have helped them out a bit, because they got to change the penalty taker. So it was good.
Decent, right. I want to test your goalie knowledge now, and then I'm going to get onto your career and stuff like that. This is what I normally try and do. So I hope you're ready for a game of goalie or no goalie.
What a save from Mark Howard.
So I've got 5 current international goalkeepers, and the other 5 are made up names.
Okay.
Viewers and listeners can tune in on YouTube and follow our leaderboard live, right? 1 point for each correct answer.
Go on.
Right, number 1, Victor Johansson.
Yeah, he's keeper.
You know that name?
Rotherham?
Yeah, he is. Rotherham, nice. Yeah. Sweden and Rotherham. Nice, easy one to fill you in.
Yeah, good start.
Yeah, nice.
I'll take that.
Right, number 2, Irvin Johnson.
Irvin Johnson. I'm going to say keeper.
He's not a goalie, man. He is former legendary basketballer, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Miles off it.
I thought you'd like your basketball as well.
Yeah, I do as well. I only know his name, Magic.
Yeah. Right, number 3. You got 1 out of 2, so... Number 3, Ras Mboli.
Yeah, he's a keeper.
He is a goalie, mate. Yeah.
Algeria.
Nice and, mate, your knowledge is very good here at goalies. Yeah, Algeria and Quad Isaiah, goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that, mate. Mate, it's so hard to pronounce some of these things, right? Number 4, Harrison Armstrong.
No,
he's not a goalie.
No, keeper.
He's H, the rapper.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mate. Yeah. Harrison.
I never got that.
Harrison Armstrong.
Wow. I never knew his name, his actual name.
No, neither would I, mate. I'm trying to work out where H comes from. Right, number 5, Ken Hom.
Not a keeper.
He's not a goalie, mate. He is a chef. American TV chef. Very famous, actually.
Wow. I've never heard of him, to be fair.
Fair enough. Number 6, Charles Lukwego.
He is a keeper.
He is a goalie, mate. You're on fire here. St George and Uganda goalkeeper. Flying. What have you got? One wrong?
One wrong.
Nice. Right. Number 7, Philip Knight.
Philip Knight? Never. No, I don't think he's a keeper.
He is not a goalkeeper, mate. He co-founded Nike.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm buzzing here.
Your sponsor here, by the way. That's why I just chucked that one in. Right, number 8, Sean Johnson.
Yeah, he's a keeper. New York Red Bulls? New York FC?
Close. Toronto and USA.
Toronto. Yeah, USA. Yeah.
Mate, your
used to
knowledge
play
of
for New York.
goalkeepers is incredible.
There it is. He used to play for New York.
Nice. On fire here. Number 9, Marco Zoror.
I'm going to say he is a keeper.
Unlucky, mate.
Killed it.
He is a famous martial arts actor from Chile.
Is he?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
You've got Chilean history, mate, so we're going to get onto that as well, mate.
I never heard of this guy.
Yeah, I didn't until I started Googling really famous people from Chile, mate. Popped up. Big Marco. I think he's like Jean-Claude Van Damme in Chile, mate.
Yeah, he must be, yeah.
Right, number 10, Suchi Gonda.
Suchi Gonda. I'm going to say he is not a keeper.
He is a goalkeeper.
Oh,
he is
kidding.
Japan goalkeeper. He's really famous.
Yeah, he played World Cup, didn't
Yeah,
he?
that's him, yeah. Mate, it's still very good knowledge, mate. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Well
That's
played.
not bad at all.
Right, I want to get serious again then.
Go on.
Right, what's your earliest memory of playing in goal?
I was about 11 or 12, so quite late, to be
That's
fair.
late, yeah.
I missed the school trials for my school team, but I used to always play in goal in my estate because we used to play Wembley, and we'd always take it in turns to go in goal. So then I'd go in goal a bit, and to be fair, I didn't really enjoy it at all, but I was actually not bad at it. Then I went to school and I missed the trials. I forgot that it was on that day in year 7, and I just they said they needed a keeper, so I just said, oh yeah, I can play in goal, and then from there I couldn't even dive to my left, and then. Like, after a while, I was all right at it, to be fair. So then it just kind of went from there.
That's so late, really.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I think I was about 8 years old when I first put on a pair of gloves and got dirty, and I was like, yeah, I love this stuff, man. That's late. 12's late.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
just from playing in the playground, World Cup, you call it Wembley.
Yeah,
don't you?
Wembley, yeah.
It's World Cup to me, World Cup
Was it
Willie.
World Cup?
Or World Cup doubles.
Yeah, World Cup doubles, yeah.
Right, yeah, obviously, like, I know, you grew up on the streets of London. So I used to go and play next door to my house. So we had garages, and that's where we play football, me and my brother, constantly.
Yeah.
You must have had, like, obviously, you're a bit younger than me, the cages and just going down there and that.
Yeah, so we had, like, cages. We had, like, so I used to live on the 11th floor, and, like, when you used to come down, there was, like, a park bit in the middle, and we had, like, 2 trees that were, like, perfectly like a goal, which was, like, we'd play there in the summer, but then they started... When I got a little bit older, they built like a cage. Like, so the cage was like unreal. It wasn't Astro, it was concrete. But like, when you were younger, like that was
the best place to go.
The best. So like, we used to play in there a lot during the winter and stuff like that. And yeah, I'd be out until whenever my dad would open the window and shout, "Lawrence, you need to come in for dinner." So like, I'd run back in, go and have dinner, then run back out. Yeah. Because that's just like, just wanted to play football. It's not like now, you know, I've got kids now, and my kids, they don't want to go out as much, you know what I mean? It's just like they would rather stay in, watch TV, or which is like so different to how I was, which is quite crazy. But
that changes, mate. How old are your kids?
I've got one that's 8, one that's 4, and I've just had a baby.
Another congratulations.
Thank you.
Christ, it's a lot of congratulations.
It's about 8 months now. He's about 8 months. So yeah.
My little boy's just turned 7, and he's proper into football now. He's like been fully like YouTube, TV, bit of gaming and that, and now. Like every day I get home from football, I'm 2 hours in the back garden kicking a ball about.
Well, I mean...
Some days you don't want it.
Yeah, that's it. See, my son's 4, like my daughter's 8, so she doesn't have she doesn't have like nothing. She doesn't really want to do that. She does gymnastics and drama and stuff. Yeah. But my son's 4 and he has no interest, like wants to watch Fireman Sam and stuff like that.
It'll come.
Hope, but you know what? Now you've said that, actually, I think I don't want it to come.
Yeah, mate, honestly. Like we've got 2 goals like that face each other. He's got a smaller one. He's got like the 4-foot goal, and I've got like one of the bigger, like not 6. I think it's 6 foot. So like we have to have our own goal. It's like the rule. He makes so many rules.
And is he keeper?
Well. At first, he wanted to be a goalie when we had 1 goal, but now we've bought him a new pair of football boots and I'm in a bigger goal. He thinks it's brilliant now because he actually gets to take proper shots.
Yeah.
So it's like change his world. I'm like, yeah, I like this. Keeps on calling himself Harry Kane. I'm like, nice, I like this. I can get used to this. Yeah, he's a lefty as well, so he's got a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Lefties always got a chance, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm a lefty, but I only was a lefty because my dad was lefty. So I wasn't born left-footed.
Oh, you're not?
No, I was right. I'm right-handed as well. So, but because I followed my dad, now my right foot's non-existent, if I'm honest. Like, I just don't use it. So I'm just a pure lefty.
Nice. When did you realise that like football could actually be your job? If you've come into it that late, it must have been very quickly. Like you go through the ranks and stuff.
So I was at Brentford for 2 years, from about 14 till you get decision time. And I got told like you're not getting one. And I went to like a college program. So it was like you go to school, it was like a school thing, but it was like linked with Tottenham. So I went there and I was just playing for this college program, doing work every day. It was like similar to a scholar, but you weren't getting paid and stuff like that. And then, I went into Tottenham. They needed a training keeper. So I went in for a few days a week. And then it just I ended up going near enough every day for like 6 months. So it wasn't even like a trial. Then it got to like the end of the season and they was like, we're going to offer you a contract. So I was like, I wasn't even expecting it because they wanted me to play a game as well. And I was like, I've just come from like a college scheme. You want me to come play for Tottenham, like under 18s? I was like, wow, yeah. So I played against Coventry in like the league. I think we beat them 3-0. And then after that, I got offered. So then it was like I went from going to a school really pretty much every day and training, to full-time football, which was like a massive adjustment.
Your progression must have been really quickly then.
Yeah, it was rapid, to be fair. Like I went from, so in the beginning of that year, so what I was doing, I was training at Tottenham, but then on Wednesday is when all the college teams have football. So I'd play on a Wednesday at 2:00, go back to Tottenham Thursday, Friday. Then if they need me on the Saturday as a warm-up keeper or whatever, I'd go in there. And then it went from that to, in August, I was playing in front of 12,000 against Barcelona and like the next gen, which was like Mark Warburton's, his tournament he created, which was like basically the Champions League for under 19s. So it was like such a big difference, a jump. It was like I had to be mentally. I remember as well when I went into Tottenham, the head of education and stuff like that, he pulled my mum and dad and said, just because he's signed here doesn't mean he's guaranteed a career, which was really good advice because your parents can get
100% carried away.
Get carried away in that. And obviously for me, the way I was as well, like it was very hard for me to get carried away. And it was good as well that Tottenham, they could put me in digs, even though the training ground was really close to where I lived. It just got me away from home, which was good. Like
taught you a bit more of a professional lifestyle and
like just to get away as well. Like, you can get sucked in with your mates, your mates are going out and all that. It was easy to kind of get sucked in. So, it was good that they put me in digs.
You must have had a little bit of naivety about yourself as well when you were going in, because they had said it's just for training, and that probably just kept you going in, going, I'll just enjoy it while I'm here.
Yeah, definitely. I think the funny thing was as well is that in the college program, we played Brentford. We played like the best players in the scheme. We played Brentford and I think we lost 2-1 and they were really good. And they had a completely different staff. And they actually pulled me after the game and said, like, we'll sign you if Tottenham don't. So it was like, so I went from getting released a couple of years ago to now it was like, if Tottenham don't sign you, we'll sign you. Yeah. So it was like, so I always had that in my mind. So maybe it was easier, like going in and knowing that, even if it doesn't work here, which is very rare that someone comes at the age of 17, 18 and signs, like a contract. It was like, so it was very difficult, like it was very easy, having that in your mind that, like
you had a fallback almost.
Had a fallback, yeah. Well, they told me to apply for university and I just didn't do it because I just thought, there could be something here for me. So it was a really quick rise.
And then all of a sudden you moved to Liverpool.
Yeah, so it was like my academy manager, he left to go to Liverpool and he was like, listen, if if anything happens, we'll take you. And I was training with the first team at Tottenham with Andre Villas-Boas, which was like, it was amazing. I was training literally with them near enough every day.
Who were the other first team goalies then?
So at the time was Lloris, Friedel, Gomez, Jordan Archer, and another guy called Jonathan Miles, and then me and Luke McGee. So there was loads.
Some good goalies there, very really good goalkeepers.
Loads of keepers there that have had great careers as well. And we were all training like up there. And like AVB wanted me up there like quite often. So
there's a really good contrast there of goalkeeping types. Yeah. Do you think that benefited you?
Oh, 100%. Like, so for example, Gomez we used to call him the octopus because like, you couldn't score past him in training. It was unbelievable. Then you had Friedel, who was about 42 at the time. And like everything technically was superb, really, like unbelievably technically. And then you had Lloris, who was like a mixture of both, which was like, he was like a hybrid almost. Like, I'd never seen anyone like him when he first came in. Like started really high, was always on the front foot and stuff like that. And for me, it was like, that's the kind of keeper I want to be, And I used to watch him quite closely because he was exactly the kind of goalkeeper that I wanted to be. I always pride myself on distribution, but in terms of reading the game, like it was like alien to me. So he was someone that he was really good for me as well, really good person. I spoke to him quite a lot when I was there. So It was good.
Had a massive effect and rubbed off on you. I want to go back to you move into Liverpool then. Why did you leave Tottenham then?
Yeah, so he went up there, Alex Inglethorpe, and he just said if any opportunity comes, then you'll go up. I want you to come up with me. And Tottenham kind of told me that I wasn't getting anything, and then I told Alex like a new deal. So I'd been in Tottenham 2 years, I think. And then they said you're not going to get a new deal. So I was like, okay, no worries. I spoke to the keeper coach and I just said, Alex Inglethorpe, he wants me to train up there. Like, well, they're going to sign me, but he wants me to go and train. And then he was like, yeah, sound, like, no worries. And then he told like the manager, who's Tim Sherwood, and Tim Sherwood was like, you ain't going up there because like, it doesn't look good on us really, does it? Like, you're going up there to train. To be fair, it did get sorted out. I went up there to train and they signed me, and I signed there, and it was completely different. Like, the way we trained, I thought, when you're in London, you train, well, I think a lot of players in London were like kind of like me, like from the cage, like, or from, so like the training sessions were really, really technical and fast. You got up there and it was more, like Northern, like it's different kind of football.
It feels slower, it's less aggressive.
It's less aggressive.
But a bit more like preparing you for games and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think like down south, I find it as well. Like I think down south, the players are a lot more technical, but I think the players up north are a little bit smarter. They read the game better and they manage the games better. And fitter, yeah. I just think, I don't know what it is, but I just think that it's very different north and south. It
must be the way that, like, obviously how growing up in London, or myself as well, that it was a battle. Everything was a fight, and then you'd try and get out of that by just mugging someone off and doing a bit of skill. Even like as a goalie, you'd be like, if I can mug someone off and make them look silly. I think that's a different mentality up north. I think that they have more about like going down the park and doing technical drills and shooting against each other from long distance, and they're like their range of passing would be better than I don't know why that translates further up you go. So that I grew, obviously, like I said, I grew up in London, but I couldn't wait to leave and like go and find myself. Like you said, you moved into digs. I went up to Scotland on loan, and I think that was like the making of me. So did you find that transition of moving to Liverpool tough? Yeah,
it was tough. I just had a baby as well when we went up there, so I was probably about 20, 21, and it was tough because I was on my own like for a bit. Then my missus would come up with a baby, and it would just be us two and the baby, like just up there. And then, it was hard. Obviously, it rains all the time up there. It's cold. I found it quite tough in the beginning. I think after a while I got used to it, and I started to enjoy it after a while. It was hard though, like in terms of, I hardly ever got home, and I'm very much a London. I love being down in London, so for me it was difficult being like so far away. But my mum and dad, they did make a lot of effort to come up quite a bit. So that really helped, to be fair. I think it's easier for us when we move up north because our release is going into football each day, and that's like familiar no matter where you go. But obviously moving your missus and your kid up, that's hard. Yeah. And then you go home back to that, and that's the thing that you think, this is hard, this is hard living away from home. But you get to go into football the next day and forget all about it for a few hours. Yeah, no, it's true. Like I was coming home and like she had no friends there, and like she's ages away driving. So to be fair to her though, she did go back home quite a bit. So like on the weekend, she'd go on a Friday and come back on a Monday or something like that. So she did get time to go home because like for her as well, family is very important. So I think now we have 3 kids now together. I think it's easier now because we have like, I think just then, we had a newborn. It was tough. So she's got school friends and that. Yeah, same. What was when you went up to Liverpool? Were you back in the first team up there as well? Were you training each day up there? Not as much. I trained quite a bit up there with the first team. But not as much as I was at Spurs. So, and also it was tough as well because you had different training grounds at the time. I think now they got a beautiful training ground where everyone's on the same site. But when I was there, it was like we were in Kirby and then they were at Melwood. So it was like you'd get the call like 45 minutes before you got to go out on the pitch. So like, oh yeah, you're at Melwood today. Then you'd like have to drive. Rush over like, there. Yeah. Which was like when you come from Tottenham, which the facilities are unbelievable. You just literally come out and then you either go left if you're training with the academy or right if you're going with the first team. So it was like, we didn't have that at Liverpool. So it was just kind of rushed. You'd get there quickly get your boots on, get your gloves on and then go. So it was like, it was really difficult to be fair. What were the first team keepers at Liverpool at that time? Was Mignolet, Brad Jones, Danny Ward. Yeah, they were the 3. Yeah.
Did you find that you learnt a lot off them, or just nowhere near the level because you wasn't interacting as much with them?
Yeah, no, I saw them. I thought they were very good as well. They, they've all had wonderful careers. I just think that, when I was at Spurs, I was actually with them a lot of the time. So like I got to see them every single day. Whereas at Liverpool, it was more once a week or once every couple of weeks, it was still good, really good. But like you can't really judge someone just off,
Sometimes when you're younger, go and join with a first team. You're there just as like the Joey, we call it, don't we? And you wait till the end. You don't join in the small sided games. Then you just get stuck in for the shooting drills.
Yeah.
When you go from training, like you said, at Tottenham, every day with the first team keepers, you see everything that they're doing. They see even their warm up and how they catch a ball differently to the other goalies. Yeah. But when you're just there to be the Joey, you get to come in, do a couple, and then you back off again.
You back off,
You don't get to see the full experience and that interaction, that talking to them. And
And then again, like they've got so much on their minds as well. Like they're preparing for every game in the Premier League is massive, especially even now. Like they don't have time to, worry about, well, I mean, they did, but they don't, it's not in their best interest to go and care about what a 21-year-old kid in the reserve is doing. And to be fair, I wouldn't expect them to either. So it was like, you only see them once every couple of weeks or whatever. Whereas like at Tottenham, it was like, I'm seeing Hugo every day. I'm watching what he does, his regime, what he does in the gym before training, what he does after training, and it's easier to go, you know what, like that is, if you want to get to that level, that's what you have to do, There's obviously, you have to improve technically and stuff like that. But I mean, like physically, you can watch someone and how they are just to see, oh, it works for them, because obviously we play in such a special position where
we're not the same.
We're all different. So like what works for him might not work for me,
And then as you get older or you get an injury, you change the way you play.
Yeah, 100%. I've been lucky, that I've only really had one real bad injury, which was, in my quad. But other than that, I've played, in the last 3 years, I've only missed one game, and that was the other day. So I haven't missed a league game for Orient. So it's been like an unbelievable few years just being, I found something that works for me. And like, I'm now 29, I'm coming to that part. I don't think I'm in my prime, but I'm coming towards where,
But you're, like I said earlier, you're in that level of consistency where you're the number one, but you're getting pushed by the other goalkeepers around you. I know Reece Byrne really well. Yeah. And like, they are pushing you, but you still feel like this is my spot. I can enjoy playing, and that's probably how you're getting the benefit. I also wanted to ask you about how you are with the younger lads. Yeah. Obviously, because your experience saying that at Tottenham you spoke to them loads, and then at Liverpool you didn't. What are you like now with your lads?
I speak to all of them. I know all their names. We got really good. We got really good goalkeeper department. Sometimes we get the younger lads, Noah and Lenny. They come up with us and train. And it's really good. They have their own goalkeeper coach now, which is good, for a club like Orient to have, under like Swindon, they don't think they had one, so they'd be with us. So like, it's really good. And to be fair, like I always check up on them. Noah's been on quite a few loans, so when I see him, I always ask him how his result was. I feel like you have to be like that because I was once them. It's hard, when you go up and you don't know where you stand with everyone. I don't want them to feel like that, especially with our department, like the keeper department at Orient. It's like, we love two-touch. We're very competitive with that. And then, we just go from there and we just have a really good session. We have a lot of talk. Like what people don't get is that, if you're an outfielder, you look over at us training, you might think we're just having fun. Because we're just either playing two-touch and then we're having a chat. We do a lot of work, but like, they don't see that.
No,
they just see like
they call it patter cake, don't they? Like, we love our warm up always. No, we do it a lot now. We play two touch or head tennis. We're like craving head tennis every day. But then when we do training, it's so competitive because you work 100 mile an hour and you're making demands of each other because we actually want to score against the other goalie. But then that makes training better because of that competitive edge. Yeah,
no, it's so good as well. Like we have a goalkeeper, Simon Royce, where he loves this thing called swazzlers, where he like hits the ball really low from his hands and the ball's like moving all over the place. And to be honest with you, I hate them because you catch it wrong, your finger's finished. You know what I mean? So it's like
absolute finger breaker.
But he loves it, and like we're really competitive. So we'll like tally up how many we let in and stuff like that. We'll all do it. So it's like it's good. And then the loser will have to, serve us dinner or
make the coffees.
Yeah, or if we ever go out together, I have to buy the first round or something like that, which is really good. I think it really brings like a really good, energy into the group. And also, like, I know how hard it is to not play, you know, like, so, you know, for them to be the way they are with me, because it's not just me with them, it's them with me as well, you know, for them to be the way they are, Sam Sargent and Reece Byrne, they help me massively, you know, they give me confidence. They don't, you know, they never show that they're upset. They work hard every day, and that's all you can ask for when you're playing, you know, just really good lads. And, you know, we're really good friends off the pitch as well. So I think that helps.
Right, in a minute, I want to talk about your loan move to Swindon from Liverpool, but I want to talk gloves first, right?
What a save from Mark Howard.
What gloves are you currently wearing?
So I wear the Nike gun cuts.
You've always worn Nike, by the way.
Always, yeah. Ever since I've played, yeah. So Nike. Yeah.
Ever since you made a good friend in Chile?
Yeah, so I got called up, and then they basically started sending me gloves and boots, really. So I've just been wearing them ever since. And the guy just, you know, I still speak to him and he just sends them.
Yeah. What size are you?
Size 10.
What type of cut do you wear then?
I'm gun cut. Yeah, so roll finger.
Can you explain that? Yeah.
So it's just a roll finger.
That's what Nike call the roll finger.
So yeah, I don't like to feel the ball. I see a lot of keepers nowadays. They like to
really thin palms.
Yeah, and I just can't. You know, I just can't do it. My little brother, he likes playing in goal sometimes. He'd ask me to get him the really thin Nike ones, and yeah, he loves them. But me, I just can't wear them.
Like a bit more cushion, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to feel the ball.
The Nike gun cuts, I think they've got quite a thicker latex than the Nike Vapors, is it the other ones?
Yeah, Vapor grips, I think.
Yeah, so like they're like a 3mm palm, but this sounds so geeky, but like the gun cut are probably a 4mm palm, maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
But like that extra bit of cushioning just gives you feel like you're more comfortable in them, yeah.
Yeah. I don't need to feel the ball. You know, I like feeling it, but like I don't want it to like I don't want my hands to be hurting from the ball, you know? So like it helps massively, to be fair. And it's like, I've been wearing them for as long as I can remember now.
Right, and obviously with Nike, I want to talk about the combination of boots and gloves. They're one of the best. Them and Adidas, they make it look so good.
Yeah.
Right, you've always done it as well, haven't you?
Yeah, well, to be fair, like, I've always wore Tiempos. So usually the Tiempos would be the same colour as the other ones, but nowadays they're not. So like, the other day I was looking at some pictures and I was wearing the black gloves, which were the ones before these, with white boots, and it didn't match, but like they were the latest ones at the time because they had Nike had brought out some black boots, but they just didn't do the Tiempo ones.
Do you think with boots and gloves, for a goalie especially, it's look good, play good?
Yeah. I always show the boys on the coach, like when I was at Swindon one year, there was the Tiempos that were black and orange, the gloves were black and orange, and my Swindon kit was black and orange, and it just looked unbelievable. Like that for me is like, it's like I should hang that up in my house. It's an unbelievable picture. I
can't believe you wear Tiempos. I find them too baggy, mate.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, so I like a stiff boot.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that's why I wear Preds. Tie them really tight. I even like super glue my feet in them.
Really?
You know the spray that you get for strapping?
Yeah.
I sprayed it on my insoles and then put my foot in.
Oh, really?
I hate it. I'm older than you, a lot older than you. But see, I grew up playing in Scotland, really, so I used to have to kick the ball as far as I could.
Yeah.
So when you're taking a goal kick and you put in maximum force for a goal kick every time, I was like, I can't have my foot move. No. But you play it from the back, you're more technical than me, a lot more technical.
No, to be fair, like I don't wear inner soles at all, yeah.
Because feet must be in bits.
No, it's fine. It's just because my foot's wide, so like I don't get pain at the front, I get it at the sides. Yeah. So like I find if I take the inner soles out, actually my foot feels. That's why I like the Tiempos, because they're wider. Yeah. So I've always wore Tiempos.
Right, and how do you look after your gloves?
So
how many games do you wear them for first?
Well, so I don't know. You know, probably about 6 or 7 games, I reckon.
6 or 7? That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot more than what other keepers wear them for. I have one for training and then one for matches. The ones in training are just like, they'll be the same colour and everything, but they'll just be the older match ones. So I'll play about 7 games, then they'll become training gloves. I'll wear the new pair. But to take care of them, after every game, I'll shower, I'll wash them a little bit, and then I'll just leave them to dry at home on the floor, like with the palms, like that. So
quite basic, nothing.
Yeah.
No science behind it.
No. I see people hanging them up, and no, I can't do that. I just leave them with the palms facing up.
You take them home and do this?
Yeah, I take them home.
My missus hates it when my gloves come home because like my boots will smell, my gloves will smell, or they'll just get like, I hang them up in the shower or that. She's fuming off me. She's like, you just leave your gloves at football.
Tools of our trade.
Yeah,
we need
exactly. Yeah, you've got to look after them yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Have you got any superstitions?
I just like to put my right glove before my left
So
glove,
common, you know.
and then my left boot before my right boot. So left shin pad, left sock, left boot, then right.
Yeah.
So that's about it, really.
Yeah, nothing you do before the game when you're going out, touching the post, crossbars, nothing like that?
Nah, nothing. I just jump really high. So when we're walking out, I'll try and jump as high as I can, and then that's about it.
Yeah.
Nothing like, no science behind anything.
What about your pre-match food as well?
Yeah, it's weird, you know.
See, I like these ones.
worst.
This is why I like it.
Nah, I love pasta, right? With beans on top of the pasta with like some grilled chicken.
Right.
And I'll eat that. And to be fair to my missus, like she makes it like when we play at home because we don't stay
You actually
over.
make that at home as
Yeah,
well?
she'll make it for me, yeah. So I'll eat at 12 before a 3 o'clock kickoff and she'll make them, which is like, you would never, if you spoke to a normal man in the street, he'd think you're crazy, like, for what I eat.
So honestly, like, I have this all the time. Like, watching other people eat pre-match meal is so strange. We've got a lad, Sam Dolby, striker. He eats rice, salmon and baked beans. I'm like, it's not an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, this just don't work. He's like, it's just what I'm used to now. And like, because it's there for pre-match, you just start serving it up.
Yeah. It's just not for me, man. I just, you know, I know I do understand like why you have to eat it, but it's like the best for me. That's the best that I could have. Pasta with beans on top. Maybe have a salmon with some sweet chili and a bit of chicken.
Mate, Elliot Lee came in to us this season and he said the only thing he eats is pancakes and like Nutella and banana. So like, mate, honestly, the whole team now just addicted to eating pancakes
get them
before
for
a
him,
game.
yeah?
So like at first it was like protein pancakes, just pancakes, mate. we all like all crave off these pancakes now, a bit of Nutella and that's
brilliant.
class.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Done us a massive favour.
I might do that next year.
I want to go back to your loan move then, right? From Liverpool, like you said, you weren't with the first team loads, but so did you ask to go out on loan? What was the...
No. I was driving, actually it's funny because I was driving to the Trafford Centre with my missus and the baby and I just got a phone call from Alex and he was like, you're going to Swindon tonight. And I was like, really?
What for?
Yeah, what am I going there for? And he was like, yeah, they want you on trial with a view to a loan. So I was like, oh, all right, buzzing, because that's League One. They just got to the playoff final as well that year. So it was a great experience. I was like, yeah, definitely. Even if they want me on trial with the view to a loan, I'll take it. Went down there, we played West Brom, who were in the Prem at the time. There was no one there, like hardly any fans. I did all right, to be fair. And then we played Liverpool, which was mad. Like played against the team that I was basically trying to go on loan from. And it was really good. I think we lost 2-1. It was good. And then after that game, the manager just said to me, like, do you want to stay here? And I was like, of course I do. Just played in front of 15,000 here. If that's what it's like, you know, during the season, I'm buzzing. He was like, yeah. So I just signed and went from there, really. It was really good.
You went on to make over 100 games for them. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, you just felt straight at home, straight away. You nearly got into the team the season after, weren't it?
I think the season after, yeah. So I think it was Connor Ripley. We got relegated as well that year. And I think I kept like, well, not me, but we kept like 12 or 13 clean sheets in a relegated team, which
Still,
like,
that's high, that.
it's quite a lot, like, and we still went down. And I played really well in that season. It's just unfortunate that we got relegated. And then, I really enjoyed it there. You know, I always say, like, I love the club. I love that club because it was the first club that actually gave me an opportunity and saw me as a man, not as a little boy, you know. And, you know, I went there, I had to learn, I had to grow up a lot while I was there because it was tough. The good thing was it wasn't far from London, but my missus actually went back to college. So my baby then was about 2 or 3 and there was, in my missus' college, there was like a nursery. So like she could take the baby there, she could go to nursery and then she would do her lessons and then go and pick her up, which was like amazing. I said to her, she had to go and do it. So she went back home. So again, I was home alone, you know, and then, you know, you play a game, you have a drink at home and then you end up going out or doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing. So it was like, you know, at the wrong times as well. So, and obviously when you're at Swindon, it's a one club town. Yeah. So it's like you go out there and I'm saying 80% of the people are fans. So it's like...
They all know you.
They all know who you are and you win a game and everyone's your best mate. You lose and you're out and everyone's like, why are you out? And they're telling the club and stuff like that. So it was, you know, it was hard for me, you know, and I fell into the trap of, you know, I didn't really care. I was playing well and I just wanted to go out and have a release. But you just got to be smart or you got to do it at the right times, you know. And I just didn't do it there.
See, in my career, I found it hard in one club towns for that reason.
Yeah.
Like, if you went Starbucks, you'd see like 8 other lads. You never got away from anyone. And I always found that quite hard, especially like I said in Scotland. We would go to the cinema. Someone would put a text in a group saying, "Is anyone else in there?" And 6 other phones would turn on, and you're like,
yeah.
it's just not the same. Sometimes you need to be away from where you play.
100%. Like I play in London now. We've got a million Nando's here. You go in Swindon, they've got 1 or 2, which is like, you want to go Nando's is just like a basic go there and eat in there. Like, you go in there, you see about 8 teammates, and you're like, I just saw you about half an hour ago. Like, you don't really want to. It's not that you don't want to bump into them. It's just you need to turn your brain off of football.
That's exactly it.
And like, I didn't have that at Swindon, and that's what was a big problem of mine. Like, I would have a bad game, and to forget about it, I'd have a beer or I'd go out or go to a bar or something. Whereas nowadays, like, I go home and I'm just a dad when I get in, open the door. That's
the full-time job.
Yeah, I'm not even a footballer when I walk in my house now. It's just I'm just a dad. And then I leave the house to train in and I'm a footballer again, which is like, and that's, I think, what's helped me in the last 3-4 years to be where I am now.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things is that you need that release. But at home, you've got your own personal life, and it's a credit to you that you can juggle it and perform the way that you have. I also wanted to ask, how important is a loan move for a goalie?
Yeah, no, so important. You know, I actually first went on loan when I was at Tottenham to a team called Hyde.
I've read about this as well. Yeah,
I went there on loan, and it was like, well, we lost near enough every game, but for me, I was buzzing. Like, they were probably one of the only part-time teams in the National League at the time, and they trained at Power League, and like it was just like, but for me, I buzzed off it. It was just like amazing. So after a while, I told Tottenham that they trained in like a pattern. They were like, "Don't train no more. Just go up on a Friday. We train all your training here, and then you play Saturday." And I went there, and I was like the only Londoner there. They're all from Manchester or Liverpool, and I loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was really good, and it was just like playing against teams. I think I played Wrexham twice. I played Barnet. I played Luton. Like really big teams for the level, and it was amazing. Really, I know we lost every game and stuff like that. Well, we won 1 out of 14, but you know, other than like the experience was amazing, and you know, I actually owe a lot of my career to them because they were like, you know, a team that they took me when, you know, no one else would.
Gave you that opportunity. Right? I want to talk about the strangest loan move that I've ever read about in my life, by the way. So you actually, while at Swindon, you went on loan to a Chilean team, didn't you?
No. I got in there permanently.
Oh, you went there permanently?
Yeah. So I left. My manager now was the one that got rid of me. So he just said, like, your lifestyle is not good enough. So he just said, like, you need to go on loan. And I was like, not on loan, sorry. I'm going to have to let you go. And I was like, I understand. Like, I was miles off it at the time. Like, at that point, I think I'd been there too long. And I think, you know, like, you go from, so you can have it either way. So you can save a penalty, go from a give away a penalty, save it, you're a villain to a hero.
Yep.
I think at Swindon, I won the player of the year we went down, won every award. And then 2 years later after that, I was just, they couldn't wait to get rid of me in terms of the fan base, and for me personally, I think it was important. What I didn't realize was that because I was so like not professional and my lifestyle wasn't great, I always thought that it doesn't matter how you are off it, matters how you are on the pitch. That's what I'll be fine. Like, even if you get rid of me, I'll be fine. And no, I wasn't. I had nothing, which was like so eye-opening for me that I ended up going all the way to Chile, which was like, and I went alone. So it was like
left
5 hours.
Left
the missus.
Wow.
5 hours. 5 hour time difference behind. So everything was just, I was just in a bad place. Didn't play because I went in the middle of the season. And it was tough. And I signed 18 months. It got to December, and I told them, listen, I'm going to go home. I don't have nothing at home, but I need to go home because I miss my family. I miss my mum. I miss my dad. I miss all my brothers and sisters.
Did you not have any other offers to stay in the UK?
I had none, not one. So obviously teams must have been calling for a reference, which I didn't know about at the time.
Of course.
And like they were saying, no, don't touch him. Like, he's miles off it. And to be honest, I understand it, because if you put your name to someone and then they go there and they are miles off it, they're never going to give you a player when you need them to, you know what I mean? Or they'll always give you a bad reference in the future. So I understand it. You know, it took me a long time. And when I was in Chile, actually, you know, it was really, really difficult. What the good thing was that when I was coming back to England in December when the Chile season finished, I spoke to Richard Lee, and he'd tried to be my agent years before, but I had an agent, and I just thought, you know what, let me speak to him and see see where he's at. And to be fair to him, he said to me, listen, like, I'll represent you. When I got back to London, I kind of already had Orient sorted because the keeper got injured. So I was like, yeah, but I want to work with you. Like, I want you to help me out because, you know, I need, this is my last chance. If I mess up now, I'm done. Like, I'm going to be working with my dad.
It's quite humble from you for you to keep on admitting your mistakes and that and how you've learned from it. It's really pleasing to hear as well.
No, because I was only going one way. And that's like, you know, the big light bulb in my head went when I left Swindon after being player of the year. Teams wanted me when we were in that season when I got player of the year, teams in the champ, stuff like that, to then not having anything. Not even a team that has a really low budget, that has nothing, they just didn't want, no one wanted me. So I was like, wow, like, I'm going to have to go and make a career abroad. And then it just didn't work out in terms of I wasn't playing. But I learned how to deal with not playing when I was there. I never missed a training session. I worked hard. I just wanted to give it everything. And it just didn't work out in terms of the keeper done really well. I came in the middle of the season and it was tough to break in. So
was part of that move as well to try and get in the national team?
Yeah, it was, yeah. So when they spoke to me, they spoke to my dad a lot, the team as well, and they were saying, yeah, you know, we think, you know, you come here, you'll be in the national team and all that.
Because you've got, obviously, heritage.
Yeah, my dad's
and you've
Chilean.
been capped at under-20s, I think.
Yeah, I played a couple of games for the under-20s, and yeah, like, I got close to it, really close, but the manager said, you need to play higher. So it was either that, try and get a move higher, which I was never getting, or go there where he can see me every week. So I was thinking, I'll go there, I'll play, you know, week in, week out, I'll get called up. But I just didn't play. So it was like really tough. And then I just thought, you know what, let me go home. Let me try and start again. I went to Orient on money that I had never been on since I was at Tottenham, which was like just to be home. And it helped so much just being at home, being able to be like doing the school run for me now. I love doing it because like I never got to do it for months. Like, so it was really good for me that.
Sometimes you have to take that step back in your career to go forward again. And clearly at Leyton Orient, you've gone beyond that anyway.
Yeah, like 100%. Like Rich gave me a plan as well. Richard Lee gave me a plan of what he wanted from me in terms of, you know, not playing games or clean sheets. It was, you know, just be yourself. Just be yourself, no matter what happens. And to be fair, like, you know, I've given, you know, I've been as good as I can be. You know, I don't argue with anyone. I've had different managers, and they're all different styles. And sometimes you have to change. You know, before I was so against change in terms of if a manager came in that wanted to kick it long, I was so against it and I would fight it. And I regret doing that because it's cost me, you know, like 4 years of my career. So, you know, now I look forward and, you know, it's been really good.
But you have to adapt your game and play the way that some managers want you to play. But then ultimately you're getting better without even knowing that. Yeah,
100%. Like you're learning different styles, you're learning different tactics, you're learning how different people work and adjusting to each person. I think that's a skill in itself. So, you know, I've had loads of different managers that want to play different ways and they've all been really good for me. So, you know, long may that continue.
Right, away from Leyton Orient and football, right? I want to talk about, you've done some filming for YouTube and that. You've worked with like Chris MD and like you've told me off air about Big G coming in. What's that like?
Yeah, no, because I'm a big YouTube fan. Like, so I'm subscribed to Chris MD. I'm subscribed to Cal Freezy and you know and the Dons as well. So I watch them near enough every week. Like, and he just reached out to me, Chris MD, and was just like, we're doing a video, do you want to be in it? And I was like, I went and showed all my mates that we all watch YouTube. I showed my brother as well, one of my little brothers who loves him as well. And I was like, mate, look who's messaged me, Chris MD. I was like, wow, like that doesn't really happen to me, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, no, sound, like I'll do it. And the good thing was it was only around the corner from where I lived as well. So I was like, yeah, sound, like I'll come whenever you want me to come. And it was really good. He had John as well. I think John's been on here as well before. He was in goal before me. So I was like, I was saying to that because I took the Orient media guy with me just for him to meet them as well and see like how they work as well. And it was unreal. Like done. So they were doing just shoot until you score. We was there for about half an hour. You watch the video, it looks like I was there for about 2 minutes. They edited it well.
Because he tried to do a challenge against goalkeepers from non-league up to the Premier League.
Premier League, yeah. Which was really good. Like to be a part of it was like unbelievable. So I was really grateful that that he put me in it. And to be fair, I've been getting battered by people because they're like, how can you let Cal Freezy score? But to be fair, it's a great strike. So I'll give him that one.
Is that something that you want to try and move into a little bit more? If the opportunity arises?
Yeah,
then?
of course. Like it's, you know, I think these opportunities, they come when you're doing well. You know, I think you have to embrace it when you are doing well because, you know, it's the moment you have a bad game or whatever, everyone thinks you're rubbish again. So it doesn't really matter you have to, I mean, you have to take them when you get them because otherwise, yeah, you never know when they'll dry up really.
100%.
So it's just enjoy it and just enjoy what happens. I'm a big believer in living the moment. You know, I think that's so important for me.
Right, and before we finish, right, I want to talk about a bit more geeky stuff about goalkeeper training, right?
Yeah.
Have you got any gym-specific stuff that you do?
Just a lot of jumps, really.
Yeah, plyometric stuff.
Plyometric. I haven't really done an upper body in ages.
Well, goalkeepers don't need it. That's all a myth for goalies.
I'm just all lower,
yeah.
So lower leg. And to be fair, like hamstrings, quad, all that sort of stuff, which is so important, I think, for a keeper, just to be powerful.
Yep.
So they're what we focus on. We do it. We have like our own programs, but the keepers, ours are all quite similar.
Right. And in a goalkeeper session, what do you love and hate? A lot of goalkeepers hate shooting drills. Lots.
Well, I don't really do the shoot. Well, with the team.
With the first team.
I don't do them.
Yeah, see.
So yeah, I don't like them either because get dirty and that. I'm not a keeper that likes to get dirty as
You're
well.
not?
Nah. And we were having a chat as well the other day about what conditions would you rather play in. So like windy or rain.
Don't say the wind. I hate the wind.
Nah, I'd rather play with wind.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah,
I can't get, because I know once I dive when it's raining, I'm going to be wet, shivering like a dog when we got a corner on the other side. So I just hate playing in the rain. So yeah, like the shooting, don't do it.
Love the warm-ups over the goal.
Love the warm-ups, love the two-touch, love the head tennis. To be fair, I don't like the swazzler things that Royce does because it's just like, if you catch it wrong, honestly, like you could do your finger. And there's one day we had like it was at half term. So in the half term, you get like a lot of the keepers that are in the academy, they come up to watch a session and we done one and I tried to catch it and it's like caught me on my finger. And I was like,
that noise, that pop noise.
Yeah, the pop. And then like all the kids are watching me going, this is our first choice keeper. He can't even catch a simple volley. And I was like, oh, that's not good, is it? Like, it's not great. So they're probably the ones that I don't like the most.
Right, and finally, what does the GK Union mean to you? Don't say Richard Lee's podcast.
No. The GK Union for me is like, you know, to be fair, I'll be honest with you, right? Like I'm not massive on the GK Union because I'm very hard on myself. So if I make a mistake, I don't need Royce or the other keeper coach saying, no, it's the defense. I don't need that. I know that I'm big enough. I go, you know what? It's me. But for what it stands for with me is like just the day to day, like how much we get on. Because in any other field of work, it just doesn't.
You can't have one person playing and 5 people training with you and only one of you play.
Yeah.
Not in any other job does that work.
And it works like for us. So that is what it stands. That's where the GK Union, is so important because it's like that for me is what it stands for. Like 4 guys that ain't playing and one playing and you're all helping him because you're all trying to get the same goal really, which is to win a game on a Saturday. That just doesn't happen. So that for me is what's the most important part.
Mate, this has been one of the most humbling background stories and also getting to know you and learning what you've had to come through. It's been lovely to hear, mate.
No, I appreciate you having me. I think it's been great. Shout out the beers. Cheers.
Well, thanks for coming on. Again, League 2 goalkeeper of the season and congratulations on the promotion, mate.
No, thank you so much. And you too as well.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. This has been the Yours, Mine, Away podcast with me, Mark Howard. Please go subscribe and follow us on all social media channels and make sure you're hitting the subscribe button on YouTube. Take care, guys. Bye.
What a save from Mark Howard.